Mic check. Sorry about that. Can you guys hear me okay? Um so I've been over this and over this and over this. And it seems that there's a pretty massive consistency here with these reportings. And that's what I'd like to talk about. I'd like to talk about the massive consistency, and also let me give you a little information here. All of the stuff that we're going to be talking about here is completely cited from war.gov. War.gov, okay? So this is information coming from the government website. And a lot of this is just declassified, released information. But as I said already, it's pretty crazy because there's definitely some absolutely massive consistencies between these reportings, and as you can see here, well, not on this one, but some of them. Oh, actually, here it is. My fault. I was looking at this one. The dates go back to 47. 45. 1955. 1950. Okay. Now, I think it's important to note that in some of these, I've actually found like drawings and stuff like that. Now, listen, I don't know. I understand that we have a lot of nonsense going around, but I mean, like, this seems like official information being released, and some of this again isn't necessarily even coming from here. It's coming from elsewhere. Now, when I looked at the information that was released in some of these early things, you have pictures that people drew that are the same. It might be a saucer, it might be this, it might be that. The things that seem to be relatively the same is the fact that there are these same shapes that keep reoccurring, these light formation shapes. Now, I'm gonna look through some stuff here with you officially. We have some information to look through. We have PDFs here, but I have some videos I'm going to look through with you. And what's interesting, now obviously, we're talking about official information here, so this would be again, you know, war.gov, you know, official government website here with all this information that we're talking about, and comparing it with another website that I just became aware of, where we have all the time a ton of people reporting exactly that. So that site is this, and this particular case right in front of you is a case I was looking at, pretty local to me, fairly local, that's going on right now. And this is a whole group of people, a group, not one person, a group that all witnessed the exact same events. And some of these events are some of the things that the military guys are like really trying to get people to believe that they're testifying of, and they don't believe. Some of these things where they otherworldly type stuff. Okay. So basically they're saying here that, like, as they confirmed this flying saucer like thing, and they were trying to shout almost as if, you know, like, doesn't anybody else see this and stuff like that, it felt as if nobody else could really hear them, and they were almost silenced, you know. And so, like, again, this is a .org, this is a national UFO reporting center, I think is what that stands for. Again, this is coming from not just this one report. This is just one report in this state. And all right, for example, here is a list of just this state. And then it goes on and on and on. Now, look, some of this stuff, again, groups of people, and then I guess, you know, people just report whatever they want to report, right? But this many. And look, confirming it with the media, yes, 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 yes. Rocket, 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 drone, aircraft. Some of these, no, not confirmed. A lot of them. Some of them are people saying that they're you know, experts in flying, like experience and stuff like that, and they're confirming like black orbs and stuff. So it doesn't make sense to them. Things that hover instead of being any known type of way of aircraft, jet propulsion, essentially. You know, not that. Um, however, the thing that I witness in some of these videos that I see, these specifically the newer ones, looks an awful lot like a light coming out of a jet engine. It looks an awful lot like that. So I'm just saying, this is a pretty huge list for just now. Again, Pennsylvania is one of the higher reported states, but there's still other states out there. This is just one, and this is just 2026, and all the way up till June of 2025, and then the list goes on to 54 pages. Are you kidding me? Look at all these cases. And again, a lot of them don't have these explanations at the end. Nothing. So, with that being said, so this is from, I think, this year, last year, this year, something like that. So I got the entire list, and unfortunately, when you download them all at once, they're not labeled. So somebody just sort of dumped them. I sort of have to find them on this list and compare. Oh, that's the info, you know. So you'll see for file type, you'll see like .vid or something like that. That's what you want, yeah, right there. So this is 2022. Let's see what that one is. Okay, that's not this one. That's not this one. So I'm sorry, you guys weren't looking at what I was looking at. What I was saying is over here you'll see a .vid or something if you're looking at that site. Instead of a PDF, you'll see a .vid, and then this one says it's from Iraq in 2022. So, excuse me. But not this one. I'm not sure about this one that we're looking at here. I'm not sure about this one. This one is recent, though. You can tell by the video quality. So let's keep watching. And I'm going to stop it once it zooms in here. It's going to zoom way in. And I think that somebody's just enhancing. I'm not sure that they're resuming at the time. But this is it. It's those two lights in the middle there. They're sort of moving together very clearly. And very strangely moving for an aircraft. Obviously, aircraft doesn't behave that way. So I almost caught it. I thought it was going to zoom one more time. I didn't catch it. So let's analyze this here. So here we appear to have it kind of looks like two lights, two circular lights. Let me go ahead and rotate this. When you don't know what it is, your mind plays tricks on you, okay? So don't look at this like a big scary thing. Look at it like some lights attached to something. Now imagine if it's one and it's mirrored. Imagine it's angular mirrored and it's only actually one, and you're seeing a second one and it's mirrored. So that's why it looks like it's behaving that way. Now imagine somebody has an optical illusion on the ground where they're mirroring something into the sky like a holographic. Boy, this is tough to say. Let's analyze even further. We want to really... This is one of the clearest pictures we have. And this is the pattern that remains the same throughout every reporting I've seen, even going way back to the 50s. This is what people were talking about. These lights. Boy, it just looks like a couple of lights. You know what I'm saying? So if we're going to analyze this 100%, let me see if I can get something on the screen here. Do I still have that? Yes, I do. All right, this will help. So if we take a look over here, right here, what we're gonna see is we're gonna see what appears to be like things that attach the light. Okay. See what I'm saying? Why would it bow out like that if it doesn't attach the light right there? So I think that's important to note. And we see known shapes like circles. Okay. It's important to note these things. These are scientific findings. So, known shapes like circles with lights emitting, okay? While it appears to be something that doesn't move like a known spacecraft, a known, sorry, I should say a known aircraft, a known rocket craft is what I should more accurately say. We have very much the same shapes that we're used to seeing. And I'll be honest with you, this looks an awful lot like something that is incredibly magnified and mirrored and intended to look ominous. So like, you ever like look, so like you know like the kaleidoscope thing where you like turn it and you look through it? You ever like really analyze just kind of like looking at one? What if you zoomed in on just one segment? Wouldn't it look weird? Like that? That's what I see. I see like a little piece of a kaleidoscope. It even almost acts like that, the way the lights kind of like sort of they almost join. Like if you think about it like that, they almost join. You know what I'm saying? It's really strange. So let's watch it again, and I'll zoom back out. Okay. Maybe I'll make it a little smaller. We'll look at it. But it's important to remember that it's very clear that this is meant to look ominous, and if I didn't know any better, they look like light emitting diodes. Like the way they look on a circuit board. Okay. So let's flip her back around. And I will return this to its original size. Huh. Boy, that is tough to get a look at, isn't it? So like there does appear to be light emitting from it. And what was that flash? Is that coming from that, or is that just the video? Like, I'm wondering that myself. I mean, is this a joke? Like, what? Why are people so scared of this shit? Listen, I could ballpark a completely broken idea of how to scare a whole bunch of people with some mirrors, some powerful lasers, and holographics. Because it's not what it used to be. We could project that crap into the sky, and with drones, all you do is fly some drones nearby and use them. That's your bouncing source for the hologram. You know what I mean? Like drone shows and stuff. You know that they do that with drones, right? Like the big. You know what I'm saying, right? So like, I get the ones like way back, but a lot of these reports now are being dismissed by like drones, rockets. And listen, there's a lot of billionaires out there that want to screw with people. And they have kids that have access to technology they shouldn't have. Okay? So, a lot of these reports that are coming out, there's like a ton of them recently, right? Who has clearance? Top secret clearance. You know who? Who has access to rockets and technology that most people don't? Now, I'm not saying it's all that person, but um, what if they know the truth and his way of screwing with people, with sort of what he always does, and is to introduce this as a thing, as a new thing, all of a sudden, when really we used to be scared of it because we didn't understand the technology. So, like, you know, the Soviets or somebody was trying out some new tech and it crashed. And we didn't understand it. And now, all this crap is not confirmation. A lot of it's responses to things that people don't understand. Now, we do have these reports that I've pointed out on this website. But what if as I already said, there are certain men that have access to technology that they are using against people that they should not be using it against. Instead of it being that guy we shouldn't have let take over Doge, we just sort of gotta go aliens. What if it's that simple? Did stuff NASA couldn't do. Built that AI computer, didn't he? What if this guy is, you know, the KGB of this time, or, you know, again, just trying to be that, you know, he watched some secret spy movie or something like that, and he wants to take over secretly. Yeah, I come on. What's more believable? And none of this came out with Obama, and now he's sort of half recanted almost too, didn't he? I mean, it's like he knew about the information, but like he didn't really necessarily want to confirm it. You know what I mean? Like right, almost like he kind of doesn't know what's going on right now. That's all. He's being kept out of the loop. I think that they attack and go after people that are smart too, because they might figure it out. We can keep going, but I'm pretty steadfast on this one. I think a lot of the stuff that we have seen is stuff that Elon is competing with a foreign nation, and you don't know about it. There's a lot of stuff going on that you don't know about. And they are distracting us with all kinds of stuff. I mean, the more I think about this, the more that is a extremely reasonable, logical answer to a lot of it. Again, I already said this stuff in the past. It makes sense because it was so far back, like the 50s and stuff. We didn't understand that type of tech then. So that's why we put a lot of money in it. And then all of a sudden, within like a decade or two, after investing, jets were a thing. A much better thing. It wasn't just airplanes. So, yeah, I mean, and yeah, that's the way it works. When you hoard all the money, who else has any left for any to top you, to out research you? You outbid everybody for every little thing. All right. Let's look at more of these lights moving back and forth. Listen, I've already explained how if you start understanding certain invisible technologies like scans and stuff like that, who knows what this guy has sat here and developed? Anyway, let's take a look. I'm still open to it. I am always gonna follow the logical path first, because not only do you need to go down that with 100% effort, because when everybody else is freaking out, what if it's the easy answer? You have to. And it also helps you figure out some things along the way. Sometimes when you look a different way, sometimes you find out a little bit more also while ruling it out. And that's how science works. Then you start with the things you know. Well, I know that guy has a lot of money, and I know, again, like I said, that he has done things even NASA couldn't do. Lied about a lot of stuff. Okay? And is extremely manipulative. We do know those things. That's like sort of public information about the guy. So, anyway. Sorry. This is a rack? What am I looking at? That? So what? Oh, it's unidentified. What the what is this? I feel like I feel like sometimes this is like a doctor doing a full body scan. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna see something and you're gonna freak out about it. What you have to realize again is this stuff is unidentified. Again, there could be some really random subcontractor that runs some sort of weird drone-like thing that nobody is able to identify in this area specifically for a purpose, exactly at this time for some reason, just in this spot, because of something that day, or so, like, who the heck knows? And just because it's unidentified air traffic, that's what you have to realize about this stuff. It's just unidentified air traffic. That's it. That's what you're talking about. And I think that phenomenon seems weird too, because it's almost like you're trying to force alien, you know? Listen, some of this stuff blatantly looks like light orbs. Okay, that's not a craft. That's a light. Jeez, what am I looking at? You know what? Let me just continue through the videos, and then maybe we'll find this. We'll know that one's a rock, okay? I just can't see anything there. Okay. So this one, again, these are not labeled. This one's a little longer. Oh no, it's not actually. It's around the same length. Why is it? Huh. So here's this one. Oh, wow. This is pretty interesting. Okay, so what do you think that is, guys? There's a wind farm. And what's the data? What was the reported data on this that they were able to determine? I wonder. Because again, this is just a video. I'll have to look through here. This is crazy. Well, we know how somebody feels about wind farms. They keep this pretty standard. Went off a little bit there. It is so hard to get this one zoomed in on. Here, let me just... Boy, that is a speck, isn't it? Right there it is. So how am I supposed to see anything like that when it's just a speck? You know, how's that even conclusive of anything? All right. So, boy, it'd be really nice to see anything about this. Boy, that is just a speck. How much can I really zoom in on this thing? You know what I mean? It's just gonna look like a pixel. That's exactly what it looks like. There it is, guys. UFO. Excuse me. I'm not saying I'm not a believer here. It just a lot of this video stuff that we have is not conclusive at all. It's just conclusive of a light moving around. Let me try something. Yeah. So no apparent, like, it's just light. That is emitting light. That is light. That is all that is. That is just light. I have darkened this quite a bit, and it, like, bright, it, like, shines. I'll show you. But it's light. That's what it is. Yeah, I mean, they have this, like, black and white here, but... I mean, for it to be... Look at that speck in that darkness. That speck is where we just were, that speck there. Right, oh, freaking arrow. There. That's the speck. So, look, if you look and see how dark that is compared to the... Yeah, I mean, like, the surrounding area is so dark, yet it's a wind farm, and we can clearly see it. But this is just emitting all this light, even though I darkened it. I mean, you know, you get what I'm saying? I mean, like, that's light to me. And that's what it looked like, too. So even the camera isn't lying there. You know, it's clearly capturing something emitting light. No, because the whole thing is still lit up, you know? So, alright. So still, like, is there any information on this one? No, the info's blacked out. That's really weird. Okay, oh, I guess maybe specific coordinates they don't want. That would make sense, if that's why. Alright. What's this one?
Gemini Control here again.
I don't know what this
Earlier in the... Gemini Control here again.
It's that. That's literally what it is. Okay, so that one doesn't work. Well, that is pretty high up. What is that? What am I looking at here? Where am I looking? Oh, I saw it. Oh, wow. I saw it. You can easily miss it. So bottom of the screen, about like that, diagonal. So bottom right corner of the video. Now. 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 You see it? So I'll enhance it for you, but let me pause it first. Boy, where the heck is that thing? That is so hard to pause and very easy to miss. I still don't see it. I wish this wasn't black and white. Wait, where the heck is it? Hold on. Can I? Darn. Oh, yes. So let's do 30, no, we'll do a 25% speed. We should see it slowly go across. Did you see it? Did you see it? So I'll slow it down even more. We'll do 10% speed. Here we go. It's playing. It just doesn't look like it. Here it goes. What the heck is that? That's crazy. That is pretty quick moving. That's it, right there. Looks like the same thing we saw in the last video. It looks like it's moving so fast, it's just leaving a trail of light. That's it. This is bizarre. All right. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. You can barely see the orb itself, and as you can see, it looks like it's emitting a little light. So not the trail, but the actual orb itself when I darken it. So I think that's important to note that it just seems like an orb of light, and that's pretty inconclusive. That does not mean spacecraft by any means. Just means somebody knows how to screw with you and move, and at the same time move a light very quickly across the screen right when they're screwing with you. So what got them to look at that screen right when they did to see that is I would be more investigating those things. What is happening when people are looking at these screens? What is making them look at the screen? Are they doing their normal thing, or did something make them do it? I would investigate those things. I would investigate the fact that this is a psyop just as much as I would investigate aliens. Because you're not doing it justice if you're not. So that's that one. What's this one? Oh, sorry. Hold on. There we go. There is 100%. All right, what do we got? It was a longer video. Oh, it looks like we're following one. Yeah, I see it. Here. There you go. So that's what we're looking at there. It's like sort of following it. Whoa. That was moving pretty quick. It looks like the ocean. Is that the ocean? It's so hard to tell. I just would probably see ground, but I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. It's just gray. That's that orb of light again. These are all different, very different things. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in on this because you can't see that. It's probably not gonna be probably not gonna look like much, but can't really see it like that. Yeah, just a speck again. It is so inconclusive. But I don't know anything else about it. And look, a lot of these lights that we're seeing, we're just seeing light and nothing attached to it. Now again, we are getting reports of people seeing other things. But we've never actually seen a saucer. Ever. In all of this stuff, I have never once seen a saucer. Not a single time. That could be an ocean skimmer. Unaccounted for. You know, abandoned running its rounds, unaccounted for. Be like a trash skimmer. Literally. You know, I get that it's moving really fast. But how fast is it supposedly moving? So I don't know. Some of these reports, I would want to look at specific information. I don't have that in front of me, so that's all I'm saying. If I knew how fast it's moving, okay, fine. Like, I mean, it's moving a certain speed, but we're just going based on what they're saying. Like, how do they know how fast? Like, do they actually know how fast it was moving? Did they do that? Like, that information looks like it might be blocked. So why are they blocking that if they want to be transparent about it? I want to know how fast it's actually moving. You're not saying any of this stuff with contrasting comparison. It's always far away. And then, like, the stuff that you're seeing that's, like, over the ground, it's very high above ground, and typically there's no buildings around. So you can't really confirm area that well, and, you know, like, you get my point. Like, there are a lot of really strange, dumb things about this that scream psyop the more I dive into it. So anyway, again, like, it's not impossible to think that somebody can, you know, like, really quickly move a light around. Like, yes. That you can do. So, I mean, if we're talking about that, there's not much to talk about there. Let me see here. So, all right, we're up to that one. What is this one? What do we got? What do we got? And like I said, that's why I started with the one that I started with, because that one is so much more definitive. Like that one actually, you know what I mean? Like that is very odd. But again, that's the only one I've actually seen like that, and that one actually matches the reports that are coming back from like way back. These that we're seeing here, a lot of these look like just light orbs. Okay. I mean, yeah, obviously don't ignore it, but okay. Okay, so what? You know, like make me care. How fast is it moving? I want to actually know that. These things matter.
Alpha, call behind east 132.12. 132.12, Alpha.
Okay. What am I? Whatever. I'm moving on to the next one. That's ridiculous. Stupid shit. There's a lot of nonsense in here. It's not conclusive of anything. What am I looking at? Okay, so there's a white speck. Can we maybe zoom in or confirm how quickly it's moving? Perhaps where it is? There's like nothing on these videos, man. Just that. No, hold on. Here's what's interesting about this one. Okay, let's look. It appears to be several next to each other. Okay. Hold on, let me... I really wish that stupid circle wasn't there. That's pretty annoying. So that's it. Defying a weapon system? Is that what I'm looking at? That looks like a target lock system. That little box is a target lock system. Boy, that's a fascinating look. Alright, let's take a look at that. Boy, that is... Boy, that one's interesting, isn't it? Alright. Wow. Alright. So that was something, ignoring a weapon system or something like that. I know that I've been hearing drone attacks. But that's foreign. That's probably foreign. And them denying it. Huh. Oh, it is really something, huh? Well, that was pretty interesting there at like the last little bit. So I'm kind of interested in just that section for a second. So let's go back to this. At a certain point, that square is going to trail off into the bottom right, I think, right? Wow. Wow, look at that. That is... Okay, so like... It's definitely like a couple different lights at some point there. And then all of a sudden, as it speeds up, it appears to speed up. It turns into like this ball of light. Like we've seen earlier. So, what if whatever you're seeing somehow merges into one and moves that much faster? You know, like there's like a process where their movement, it almost looks like a tumbling process where their movement is increased in speed and stuff. Like, because what I'm seeing, it almost looks centrifugal there. But I could just be an overanalyzation of the high contrast of the filter and all the light. You know, like all the stuff that's on this screen that we're looking at. Look how that really, like, merges to one. Hold on. Oh, it's really tough to... Hold on. Let me just... I'm gonna slow this down, and I'm gonna zoom in here. I'm gonna zoom in. Boy, that red circle conveniently gets in the way at right the point that I want to see. I want to see it right there, which the two lights become one, yet I cannot. That is fascinating, isn't it? Boy, that is convenient. Almost like it was calculated. All right. See, it's already one thing at that point. See that? Boy, I don't know, man. I don't know. That is tough. And realize like we're getting a very, like, I'm zooming in on this light thing, and you know, again, it's far away already. Everything that you see there is extremely distorted, so that's part of the issue. Yeah. It's just so hard to say definitively really much about that. Still. Yeah. That is pretty nuts. That's pretty nuts, man. All right. What am I looking at? Is this aircraft? What am I looking at? Oh, that's that thing again. I think it's the same thing. Yeah, boy, that was bizarre. What am I looking for? Oh, well, there it is. Just a speck, though. Oh, there it's not. What is that? Now that's the thing that looks a lot closer to the first video we looked at. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, look at that. Looks a lot like that first one, doesn't it? So now I'm going to remind you that some of these are going to look a little weird because of the screen that you're looking at. So like, all right, so if we go like this. Hold on. Which one was it? No, it wasn't this one. It was this one. Right? Yeah. So if we go back to this one again, to where they zoomed in. And we sort of compare. It looks like literally two of those side by side. So like a mirror, like I talked about. Except like this. Except, you know, it's contrasted. But yeah, you get the idea. Looks exactly the same. So let's keep this. We'll keep this maybe as a point of reference. Isn't that crazy? Just moving around like that. Can I be honest with you guys? Do you know what this pattern follows? Do you know what I'm going to say? Do you know what this pattern follows? If you watch it closely, it literally looks like... Oh, let's get it back here. Watch it. Watch. You know what I think? I think this looks a lot like a pattern, the same pattern that it follows when somebody is completely and utterly randomly moving their mouse about their monitor screen, and that's what it looks like, where they don't really have a place for it to go. They're just sort of kind of like dancing it around just because, you know. That's exactly what it looks like. It looks literally like they're not doing anything. Literally looks like they're just sort of kind of, look at me, look at me, look at me. That's what it looks like. It looks like somebody's literally just moving a mouse around their monitor screen or something. That's what it looks like. It looks like that. Just saying. All right, so oh, there's the filter. So the light is clearly there. I mean, it is very much the thing on the right. Now that I flipped it, okay? It's the thing on the right. Very much rolls into the thing on the left when it moves together. Because you can see how this is angled, the light on the... So like if we look at this part here, that part there, so basically if it rolls this way, what's going to happen is it's sort of like a bone where this part's going to go in here and this part's going to go in here. And I think we've sort of seen that. Where I said I want to watch the moment that the freaking circle is, yeah, and you don't see it join. I think that's what it's doing. I think it's just like almost like a bone. But I think we're just seeing it like that because it looks like that. You know what I mean? Like I just think it's the light's just reflecting that way. I personally think it's folding on top of itself. And then so thus, all right, so like here. Open? Oh, okay. There it is. So like if I do this, how do I make a, screw this. There we go. All right. All right. So if we just sort of do this for a second, all right? Here, let me actually. Oh, I went and started that over. I'm trying to. Annoying. I didn't play it long enough. All right. Let's do all right. So like, if we have this as a dome, okay. So like, imagine this. Imagine if I have a dome light, okay. So like, my light has whatever it's attached to here and whatever it's attached to here. But basically, for the most part, this is a dome. Okay? So that's my little dome light, okay? But this is flat. Maybe even saucer-like. And so basically on the bottom of that is a gigantic freaking light. This is everything I needed to do. And the top of this is literally like a Lego. And so basically the way it works is the other one flies sort of next to it and is attached to it also, like this. And then what if this other dome, as they're moving side by side, you know, again, the lights are coming out here, as you're seeing here, all right? But what if now these two pieces fold like this? Now it would look like an orb, right? So just rationalize with me, okay? All right. Again, we have a dome light. The light's emitting here. A light's emitting here. A terrible picture, I know. But again, if you fold these two pieces together, if you fold those two pieces together, okay? So if the light is emitting out the bottoms of my hands and I fold my hands together, and now it's emitting just sort of out the bottom and the top, and it's a really bright light, this flying saucer will look like an orb. Because they are dome-shaped lights, and light emits out. So this light is going to go like this, and like this. And then now, when this folds on the top, now it's going to be like this. So there's your orb. Okay, I know, terrible picture. But what if it's that simple? And you know, this drone tech we're talking about is just, again, what I've warned you about, where they have technology they should not have to affect your health. And that's what they're doing to all these people. And the some of the stuff could be psychosomatic effects too, in addition to it. So then that would explain some of the nonsense. But anyway, I do think that this is an answer to why it possibly turned into a giant orb of light. Okay. You know, you got to think about it as you know, they sort of fold into each other and just, you know, and then take off faster all of a sudden. So I think that's all it's doing. Something kind of like that. I know you don't want to hear it, but I think it's gravity tech. I know you don't want to hear it, but I think it's gravity tech. If it's actually extraterrestrial, that's all I'm saying. If it's not, I don't think Elon can do that. But if it were actual extraterrestrial, I think that it's a possibility, a very good possibility. We'd be looking at gravity type. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't even planning on doing this with you guys, but as I kind of sat here and became aware of the file dump, I kind of couldn't believe what I was seeing, especially with some of these. Or that's what we're talking about. Let me do something here really quick. Let's take a look at this. I want to look at this at like no speed. You know what I mean? Like nothing. Why does it jump back 5 seconds when I drag it clearly only to the second that I want it to? Why does it jump back 5 more seconds? It just did it again. I'm dragging it to a specific point, and I let go of it, and I watch it go like that. It literally drags it to where I don't want it to go. And now it's not even playing. Yeah, like I can't even... Jeez. Yeah, it won't let me drag it to right before. It just stops playing. Well, that's interesting. Jesus. Boy, that sure looks like it's being like reflected off of like water or something, doesn't it? Like it looks like it's molten, like it's like water, or you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't look solid, doesn't it? Isn't that weird? Yeah, hit the play button. This video is being really weird. Boy, that is. You know what I mean? Like it's like shifting like this. It just doesn't look... I don't know, it's just something weird about it. Again, they could be shifting around like that as an optical illusion for whatever fuel is being used out of there. In which case, that wouldn't mean... Yeah, I mean, if it was that, but I mean, it's possible to rationalize it. It could be an exhaust of some kind that would cause that. But again, I can't. I try to drag it to where I need it to be, and it literally stops at a minute and won't play any longer until I drag it to well past what it needs to be. It won't play a certain part of the video any longer. Isn't that interesting? And it's like right around this time too. I think that's pretty interesting. Yeah, what is with that? Why is it just looking like it's shifting around? I mean, that's really weird. All right. All right. Let me get this back. Okay. I don't see anything. Oh, there we go. That's pretty small. I wonder if we're gonna see something else other than that. Yeah, I don't care about any of this. Sorry. That was my fault. I think I had high contrast on. Or something. I had my thing on. Oh my gosh! Well, that's still not really that conclusive anyway, so... Alright, so... let's check the next one. Do I have this on... oh, I had this on, like... stupid slow speed. Here we go. Wow. So another orb of light. See that? Again, that it's just not much to go on. I'll zoom in on that, it'll be another speck. So that's the ocean. There you go. All right, what do we got here? Well, hmm. Yep, just another orb of light. Moving erratically. Is it possible? Is it possible that it's spelling something out? So I know, like, it's obvious to me that, like, it's not writing anything, any known characters that I would recognize from, like, you know, the English alphabet. However, if I think about the way Chinese looks, suddenly the movements it makes suddenly don't seem so strange. Well, that would be complicated, though. You'd be spelling it out for the line of sight of just that thing. So. Why is anybody saying that that's like, are people saying this is like too fast or something? That's what I've heard, but nobody's actually telling me any numbers. And that's not fast. What we're seeing there, that's not fast. It's just not. That's not that fast. Nah. I mean, yeah, I mean, it just looks like a jet going. Yeah, I shouldn't say it's not that fast. A jet going pretty fast, but again, not necessarily outside of what we can do. It doesn't look like that to me. Yeah, I don't know. What about if they're illegally making electric powered craft? Yeah, so like Teslas, except that's legal. And that's just what it looks like. And nobody knows about it. What if that's what it is? Because that's not... This thing doesn't look like an orb of light this time. That thing looks like just something moving. This is gonna be a... I already don't want to watch it. The quality is terrible. How do they look at this shit? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Is that what I'm looking at? I thought that was like a symbol on the thing. Is that what I'm looking at? That's weird. What is that? That's pretty ominous, isn't it? So that was in the sky, huh? It's like a fancy firework. That's what it looks like. Looks like a fancy firework. With a piece of metal stuck to it. But it then just moves away that quick. Oh, that's a pretty good shot. Hold on. Wow, look at that. That's pretty good. Boy, that sure does look like almost exactly like that light we're seeing. This looks like some kind of probe. Or a drone. All of them do. They don't look like manned shuttlecraft of any kind. They look controlled. You know, like at a distance. That is pretty, you know, like you can see a rotation of almost like a propeller in the middle there. Watch. I see something that looks like a propeller in the middle. That's a turbine. Some kind. So that's propulsion. Oh. Yeah, that one's weird. But obviously the concern is that since the current administration kind of blatantly lies a lot, the concern is just that they release nonsense information even on official like websites and stuff. So the concern is, you know, how deep that goes, obviously, and if this is a psyop, you know, it doesn't go unnoticed for sure that if that's the case, and they're actually getting some few people to believe into it, you know, it may be through manipulation, like I said, psyops, and then in addition to that, like AI, like, you know, like stuff where it's AI generated and stuff. Um, but you know, this, like I said, some of the information, the only reason I even did this was just because of how, you know, like I said, with this thing right here, how just there was definitive, you know, specifically even that pattern, of thing that lined up all throughout, even going way back. So that would be really hard to deny. In addition to all of the reporting on that website that I talked about, so it would be really hard to discredit all of that. So, and again, it's not just a thing happening in the U.S. It's being reported around the world. So, you know, it's not just it's not just here. I didn't even see. Oh, yeah, alright. Bottom of the screen. Very easy to miss. There it is. There it is. There it is. Oh, man. Alright, well, there's that one. More orbs of light. So yeah, that's just like the same stuff we've seen pretty much. Well, that's pretty quick. Wow. Yeah, that high up, that would be hard to... Yeah, some of this would be hard to do with the light being as high up as it is. You know, like to like try to pay to put it on or something, you know. So there is a little more validity to this as we continue. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh, wow. That is quick. Oh, wow. Wow. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's literally just like Lots of close-ups of this glowing light. Oh wow, look at that. Oh wow. All right, let's zoom in on that one. Seems to be like a definitive trail it's leaving underneath or something. Maybe it's like putting a thing into the ocean for some reason. Wow. That is quick. Wow. Yeah. Look at that thing go. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty freaking quick, man. A little easier to tell with the water there. Almost looks like it's effortless too, just for kind of doing that. What the heck? Oh, come on. Was that really something? I think they're talking about that. Oh, okay. I see. Oh, not a whole lot there though. All right. How about this? Oh. What the heck? Huh. That is weird. What the heck? What the heck? What the heck is that? All right. Well, that's pretty interesting. All right. That was pretty interesting. All right. Let's see. Just forget just that. Let's see here. It's just like it's like is this a thermal? Is you know what I mean? Yeah. Not a whole lot there, but another like glowing light moving. Same thing. Yeah. What the heck? What happened? Oh, right. There's another white thing moving. You know, that thing moves an awful lot like the thing I see overhead orbiting the planet. Wow. Look, for all you know, this could be a very elaborate way for like some sort of foreign nation to be able to test the capabilities of our defense systems and stuff like that. So again, there's a lot on here. Again, like you'll even see is this really from Syria in 2023? Wow. So like a lot of this is still like literally that still says. So this is even this month. And let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to look for stuff that actually happened somewhat recently. Like this is just the, like obviously all this is just being released, but all right, hold on. Yeah. Sure does look like a bird, doesn't it? That's what people say. Some of these, like, you know, like it'll like look like a bird or sure does, doesn't it? All right. Wow, look at all these. Oh, so this one says Middle East. I think we saw this one. Yeah. Oh, okay. So some of these are from Greece. Okay. Oh, that one was from Japan with the 2 that we were talking about. That one, that's from Japan. Wow. This is late 2025. FBI photo. Oh, there's a black orb. But like again, like there's always like a crosshair and why is there a crosshair? I love how it says the background shows a textured pattern possibly depicting ground terrain. Yeah, okay. That is the ground. So we just have all these FBI images. Yeah, there's just all these pictures. Apollo 17 crew. Wow. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just like declassifying certain things from the Apollo missions. What the heck? Something happened in Kazakhstan? This is back in 94. Object was bright light of enormous intensity and approached over the horizon to the east, great speed and much higher altitude. Several pictures were taken of the craft making 90-degree turns, doing corkscrews and maneuvering in circles. A great rate maneuvering in circles at great rates of speed. At great rates of speed. Supposed to say at great rates of speed. Object was reported as resembling a bullet in flight. Visual estimation of the contrails were at 100,000 feet, which was too high to leave contrails by normal aircraft. Yeah. So, interesting. Papua New Guinea in 85. The other one I read was like some people that were like classified, like finding a classified plane. They all reported that they saw this UFO, basically. Yeah. And fast-moving objects with lights, contrails, and noise. And if you remember, that was what we saw on that video that we saw. We saw contrails and all that. So the noise is that turbine we talked about. There's no question. So maybe some of them are older designs and some are newer. You know what I mean? Like where it's, you know, like that's evidence of a psyop. Where the older tech, the images look like turbines and contrails and more of that, and more lately it looks like this, you know. Because a jet engine, when you look at it, you know, if there's actual like fuel and stuff being used, yeah, like I mean, it'll sort of warp, like the heat, you know, from that will, you know, make it look kind of like that. But anyway, I think what I'm gonna do is we looked all through the videos. We looked at all of them. So I think what I'm going to do is probably on my own time, see if I have anything I want to add to this and highlight that's a really big thing. But I just could not let this go without getting on stream and at least talking about it a little bit. Because, you know, I think that if they want to release it, it's important that you, you know, kind of, you know, sort of realize what they're trying to, you know, get out there. And like stuff like this, they're not even releasing the incident date. That's pretty fascinating. Oh, okay, it's just a briefing. Well, the date's right on the folder. Why would you... This is 2001. It says it right there. What the heck? Yeah. I mean, I don't know what this is. Contains independent report on UFOs written by the French Association, but this is previously posted French magazine VDS in 1999, but there's nothing here. Oh, I see. Download. I have to download it. Is it more than just a picture? Should I find out? Oh. Yeah, see, like, that clearly says 2001. Yeah, 2001. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Testimonies of French pilots and cases throughout the world. You know, obviously all this UFO stuff. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. So yeah, that's a thing. There you go. So there's that one. So you can look through that too, but you know, some of the things that I was seeing was like, all right, so like for this one, there's all this stuff from like 66, like way back, that looks pretty official. You know, you get what I'm saying? And in addition to that, where is it? There it is. There it is. There it is. So that's the obvious. That's that. That's that. That's what he was trying to draw from memory. That. No question. This is dated in, I think that says 59. Maybe it says 57. Oh yeah, 57. Yeah, you just write that 7 like that. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, like I said, I'm probably going to go through this myself on my own time. I don't really have a whole lot more else to add except for that. It's important to remember that PSYOPs really work. They really, really work. And they are funded tremendously beyond what he would probably believe. So, you know, when they're funding this that much in, you know, again, this country, you know, again, who knows how much of this has been built up over the years and years and years. Other countries have been working against, you know, like the US and stuff like that to try to build technology. But it's also possible that they're building counter technology because it's happening to them too. You know, like where they're getting the sightings too and reporting it too. And like I said, the thing that would be really hard to fake that doesn't make that again is in the favor of this is just all of the reports of people saying things. Now, the things I have not seen throughout this entire report, again, are any actual evidence indicating an actual saucer. People say that they have you know, throughout the reports and then like some here, but we don't ever see the evidence of that. And you know, like I said, these things can really still be happening in mass quantity from other nations. Especially when you have a president admitting that he's fine with you being cyber attacked, and very shortly before coming into office, remember all the drones and stuff like that, and then he sort of shut up about them and didn't really talk about it, and nothing was really said about it. So again, you really can, especially if it's technology that would affect like your health, because then you never know what psychosomatic response they're causing, you know, like what brain response they're causing to get you to see whatever it is you want to see. But again, that obviously doesn't explain the videos too. So like I said, there's a lot of, I wouldn't have done it if I didn't think, wow, there's actually something to this. So for every time I have a logical explanation with science, I go, oh, except then there's that. So it's like, huh, there really might be something to this here. Unfortunately, I don't have anything else to add for you except what I already told you. I think it's a pretty big takeaway, though, to consider the fact that, like I said, you know, they could be folding up into one, so hence the dome becoming a circular light. But that's I mean, like, that's pretty basic stuff, you know. So I don't know what else to add. Like I said, this here sure acts like a mirror of something. It does not. It sure acts like that. But doesn't mean that's what it is. This is a very, very much clearer video and shot of it, though. So the more we can get a videos like this, the better. So I just feel like my point is, if it really is happening so regularly, please, can somebody at least get a clear video of this? So if it really is supposedly happening, stop taking pictures. Take a very clear, vivid picture or video of this thing. Please. Do you ever have a light on you? Do you ever try to shine a light at it? Like, I don't ever hear anybody, like, I always hear, you know, like, something conveniently happens where they can't do anything, you know, like, it just, you know, you get what I'm saying? So there's always an excuse, and not that there isn't, but you get what I'm saying. It starts to add up a little bit where it's like, well, how about that? How about that? I start questioning it a lot more. So I guess that's all I have to add. So I'm gonna shut up about it now, and hopefully you guys can ponder yourselves. Like I said, I'm probably not gonna add a whole lot to this. I don't have much to add or say on it past this. So I'm not even really focused on this a lot. You know, they clearly are. It says, you know, they clearly are. So again, I'm just. I just, again, I don't know a whole lot about it. I don't have the information. You know, there's a lot of stuff I'm minus here. So since they're not releasing that, not much I can do about that. So until they would, we really, you know, until we know actually how fast stuff's moving and like, there's a lot more facts there. It's really, really hard to say on any of this. So I'm not gonna sit around and try to figure out too much more really about this, because there's really no reason to. What we have is right here. We've sort of already looked through it. Again, if you guys want to look through it and start figuring stuff out, go right ahead. But this is pretty much the extent I think I'm going to talk about it for now, and until, you know, some real substantial more evidence comes out that I can, you know, look at. There's really no, you know, again, that's it pretty much. That's stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, that is still that, obviously. But, you know, just saying, it's hard to say anything there. So thanks for watching, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And yeah, I at least just wanted to let you know that this is out. They released it, you know, war.gov/UFO. Just go to the UFO tab. But yeah. All right. Thanks. Bye.